In this video, I will be providing an overview of our auction website and how it meets the system requirements. Right, let's get started then. So the first feature we've implemented is that users can register with the system and create a new account. So I'm just going to the register page and now I'm just going to fill in some details. For passwords, we've actually got it hashed, which we will see later on in the database. And now just clicking register. Right, I should be receiving an email now for this, as you can see here. Okay, let's check out the database and refresh it. Right, there you go, we've got a new user here and a hashed password. To note, users can take on the role of either buyer or seller. It's auction specific. In this case, as we will create an auction, this user will have the role of seller. Right, just looking down below at the feed, a user's activities will be updated here, such as buying, selling, bought, sold, watching. Okay, just going to create a new auction now. We're going to call this database systems. And subsequently, we will set suitable conditions and features of this item, including the description, category it falls under, just adding the end date here, observed price, a starting bid, and a minimum bid increase. Okay, saving it now. Right, we now have a new auction. And it should also be in the feed under selling. Yep, here it is. Now just going back to the page really quickly, we can also edit this auction as seen above. Right, now I'm just going to modify the description a little bit and saving. And now this should have changed slightly as seen here. Buyers can also search the system for particular kinds of items being auctioned. In the search bar here, I'm just going to type in a keyword to begin searching the website. Right, now as you can see here, there are a bunch of items on sale. These can be further arranged in the search by selecting a set of categories, maybe sorting by current price or even by auction end dates. If we go up here, we can also see a categories label in the navigational bar. This allows users to search purely via category first and then subsequently narrow down their searches further instead. The user will now take on the role of a buyer for a specific auction. Right, just clicking on this auction here. So they will do this by bidding on it. We now have the highest bid. And we can also check the bidding history of other bids placed by other users thus far. Right, so as can be seen here, we've outbidded Wiki. So now let's check Wiki's email. Right, as can be seen here, we've received an email that we've been outbid. And now just waiting briefly for this auction to end. Right, the auction has ended. Given that we've bidded the highest bid, we should now receive an email specifying that we are the winner. Yep. And the seller should also receive an email saying they've managed to sell this item, as can be seen here. The items which you have bought will also appear under the Bought tab on your user profile. As a user, we can also watch auctions. This can be done simply by going to an auction and clicking Add to Watch List. Right, okay, added. Okay, so now we're watching an auction. If we go back to our profile/feed and click on the watching tab, this item should now be under here. Okay, as you can see, there's item name, the current bid, and time left until this auction ends. The user can also click on the Go button in order to go to the auction itself and perhaps place the price if they want to. Sellers can receive reports on the progress of the auctions from start to finish too. So we've implemented a system where every hour a seller gets updated regarding how many new bids have been placed on the auctions they own. If we just quickly go to an auction this user owns, then, as we can see down here, the viewing traffic of their auction can also be seen. I'm just going to force the process to show you now. So for this auction the user owns, they should receive an email specifying the number of new bids since the last email they received. Okay, yep, see here. Now then, assuming no one bids on an auction the user owns, when said auction ends, the user will also receive an email notification which tells them that the item they wanted to sell didn't sell. Having bought an item, this user as a buyer can now leave feedback on the seller by clicking the feedback button on their feed page. I'm just going to enter in a rating. I'm going to give them a 4, put in some feedback. Okay, great. I'm just going to now leave feedback for another item I've bought from King of Hearts to prove that this actually does provide an aggregated feedback rating on their page. Now, if I were to go back to my bought feed, I can actually click on the seller name and see their aggregated rating. For our last feature, buyers can receive recommendations for items to bid on based on collaborative filtering. So if we look at this recommended auctions below section here on the home page, what it's showing right now is a list of auctions that have been found based on 3 cases via SQL querying. In the first case, it looks at the auctions you've bidded on and then who else has bidded on them and what else they've bidded on in turn. And this is included. If very few people have bidded on the same items as them, or practically none, then it goes on to a second case, which involves recommending items that fall within the same category as the items a user has bidded on. And finally, for the last case, assuming that neither of the 2 cases produce enough auctions to bid upon, the items which then appear in the recommended auction feature are randomized.